What's up guys, this is ScherBR talking, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I want to talk about a certain type of passive that has been appearing in many of recent releases that it's actually pretty nice, but you need to understand how it actually works properly. Well, the first character to introduce this type of passive was Enya, with her intrinsic S-word 4. Well, let's read the text. When attacking with S-words, damage increases by very large effect. That is 20%. That's not the problem. Then the second one is called when attacked by an attack that will cause resist. Damage taken will be reduced by extreme effect. That is minus 40% damage. So it's a very big value. Characters that were tanks had our wall defense 6 in order to decrease 40% of the damage. So when you have a passive that already has this, but even more effects, it should be pretty nice, right? But you need to understand how the resist works. Okay, then the third effect is when attacked by an attack that will cause resist, evades the enemy attack with a 37% chance. So 3 different effects, that's a lot. But then what exactly is resist? But in order to understand, I will open the resistance tab in Enya status, and as you can see, she has plus 65 resistance to pierce, plus 25 resistance to blunt, and minus 45 resistance to slash. This is made so that you have a balance with your character. It's really strong against a certain element. Sometimes it's the same element that it uses as attack. And then it has some resistance to a secondary element and a big weakness to a tertiary element. Well, in this game, in order to show in the screen resist, you need at least plus 35 points of resistance. In order to show weak, you need at least minus 35 points of resistance. Okay, so when using Enya against a boss that uses pierce attacks, it's going to show resist on the screen. And when receiving slash damage, she's going to receive weak damage on the screen. See? That's important because we can fix this. We can make Enya such a good character that she will resist everything. Okay, but how do we fix these problems? Just go to the equipment page, and here we will try to find the right equipment that can be used in order to protect Enya. As you can see, I already have it all equipped, and Enya is resisting everything save for sun. If this boss still has sun attacks, we can fix that as well. But here we have a lot of good things to resist against damage, and she will show resist for each attack she takes save for sun. That will allow her passive to work on full potential. 37% chance to evade. If she does not evade, she's going to take 40% less damage. And a good way to fix your character is to go to the sort and filter button, choose the weakness, in this case it's slash. There is a very good equipment here on the top, call it Titan Suit. Well, if you don't know where to find equipment, you can check one of my videos that I'll be showing here on the description that explains how to get it all. Even if you lost the event, the game will add those equipments in the equipment exchange shop and you can get it later. It even adds resistance to 3 different elemental types: heat, cold, and lightning. This is going to help us with resisting against these. Now, we need to move to the gears a lot. Here, I filtered by slash as well because it still needed some help. And when I click at skeleton protector, it seemed like a very good option because this one gives 38 points of slash resistance, but also gives shadow resistance. So I can protect against shadow as well. Now moving to accessory, we have the last missing piece. Proof of Work Tower. This is the best accessory in the game. You could get it from the Top of Work Tower event. That is not available anymore, but you can still get the accessory by going to the equipment exchange shop using some currency. It's pretty pricey, but newcomers will eventually have enough to get it as well. So this accessory gives plus 20 resistance to all damage types and also to ailment resistance, but that's not the case. We only care here right now about the elemental resistance that will fix all the remaining elemental damage. See? We have plus 44 for all elemental types save for sun, and we still have plus 53 for slash. If we didn't have Proof of Work Tower, without choosing any accessory, we will have plus 33, missing only 2 points of slash. If you don't have Proof of Work Tower, you can fix just this by going here and choosing an equipment that will give you slash, like Blasted Hairpin, Christmas Token, Radish Accessory. Those will fix the problem, but they will not give you resistance against the other elements, something that you can only get with Proof of Work Tower. Well, some bosses will attack you with multiple elemental types, so having this is very useful, especially if you are equipping someone like Matriarch that needs to stay alive at all times. But that is what I did for Anya. She's weak to Slash. Now let's talk about different characters that are weak to something else. Well, in this case I'll show you Silver, that is weak to Pierce. She's not a character with that type of passive, but here I just want to show you how to equip the character properly. Well, Titan Suit is still the best one to use. Then the second one here is Divine Boots, because it gives resistance to 3 different elemental types: Heat, Cold, and Lightning. And then we just gave Proof of Work Tower. She is resistant against everything save for Sun and Shadow. And if you want to add more resistance to Shadow, just use Oxgeta instead. With this setup, you will only be non-resistant to Sun. Now let's talk about a character that is weak to Blunt. In this case, Albert. Well, I have the Titan Suit as the main armor. For gear, I equipped the Chaos Top Hat, but if I want Sun resistance instead of Shadow, you can give the Fury Red Visor. Now you are non-resistant to Shadow instead, and also the Proof of Work Tower to fix the remaining problems. Well, I just showed you 3 different ways to equip the character to apply resist. The problem is that if you are bringing 2 or more characters that need that passive to work, you have to think a lot about the equipments that you can actually use. Well, I will show you some equipment that works for some people, like Hallberg of that is good because it gives you Shadow resistance. There is also Flameproof Groves that gives heat resistance. For accessory we have the Christmas Token. This one gives 3 different resistant types. Some other stuff like Pumpkin Suit gives you some resistance if you need. For gears we have the newest Kubo Squid Hat to give the highest amount of blunt resistance. But there are other stuff like Purple Sun Hat that gives sun and heat resistance as well. Then we have the Harmonia Suit that gives heat and cold resistance. There is also the Hydra Letter that gives you heat and cold as well. For gears there is also the Amazing Bangle that gives slash, heat and cold resistance. As accessory we have the Radish Accessory that gives resistance to 3 different types. And as for last, mage equipment help you by giving elemental resistance but poor physical resistance. And there is also dresses or clothes that will give you lots of sun and shadow resistance as well. And an accessory called Phoenix Earring can give you lots of heat resistance. There are others for different elemental types as well. But there are also characters that have different resistances and they will be easier or harder to fix, like Golden Ball. As you can see, she has weaknesses to elemental types, but she is pretty resistant to the physical ones. The newest Rock Bouquet has a similar setup. She gets additional resistance to lightning and shadow, so it will not be so hard to fix and give resistance to those 2 types. Well, I guess this probably clarifies this passive. I hope this can help you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you still haven't. If you want to support the channel, there are links on the description. I hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye.